I guess we're live. Hello, everybody. This is Robbie from BlogPaws. I'm the blog manager, and we're doing a Google Hangout tonight with Dr. Katy Nelson and Lon Hodge. Dr. Katy will be speaking at the BlogPaws Conference in May, which is, I believe, only 49 days away now, on how to get noticed by media that matters. And Lon will be speaking on, and this is a very interesting topic, the Raccoons ate my peanut butter, authenticity and authority in writing for audience engagement. So, Lon, let's start with you. Explain to me what the audience, or about what eating your peanut butter has to do with authority and authenticity.
And we'll talk more about that at the conference. But this summer, Gander and I, Gander, my service dog, who we took about 5 weeks and camped out, and we just traveled around and we camped wherever we could, and we ended up just chronicling our experiences as we were out there. And one of the things that happened was every other night we got raided by raccoons, and everything we did ended up being just causing them to up their game a little bit. You know, it looked like I would wake up in the middle of the night and it looked like paratroopers had come in and taken over in the campground. And they got so clever. I would lock things down. I would put them up high. They would climb up. They literally get on the tables and throw my cooler onto the ground so they could crack it open. Then every time all they wanted to do was get in the peanut butter, but they would never eat all the peanut butter. They would just take a little scoop out, leave a little mark, and then bug out. Well, what happened was this thing went viral. It went worldwide, and people started sending in memes from all over the world. We had Andrea Martinez was one of the funniest, a gal who was at a forward operating base in Afghanistan, and she sent some of the funniest memes, about raccoons and pictures of raccoons.
Well, I can't wait to see that at the conference. Oh, we lost your sound. I think we're having a bit of technical difficulty, so let's go over to Dr. Katy.
Hi there, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Wonder if you can tell us, just give us a little bit of insight into what you're going to be talking about at the conference, then we'll kind of go into some of the questions that we had discussed earlier, so we can get everybody excited and wanting to attend your sessions. So, what is media that matters?
Well, what I'm going to talk about is basically, I've been in this media world now for about 7 years. I've been hosting my own show now for 3 years, and so I pretty much have some pretty solid experience in being told no a lot of times, because that's what happens, and that's what you need to prepare yourself for, is when you're getting ready to launch this thing, how to get the people that you actually care about to care about what it is that you're doing. So we're going to talk about, how to write a good pitch. We're going to talk about, once you get on, how you get back on, and that's even going to go into a little bit of how to dress, what to wear, what to say, what not to say, and a little bit of prep as well for how to get yourself ready for going on those live media appearances, whether it's television or radio as well.
Okay. So since, if you want to get on media or in the newspaper, this topic is kind of about authenticity. So Dr. Katy, since you're on screen right now, can you tell me a little bit about what it means to be authentic?
Well, I think you need to be extremely honest about, sorry, I have a Shih Tzu trying to get in my lap right now, so that's why I keep looking down. Come on, Eddie, you can get up here. He missed. Sorry. Again, we're being authentic, though. This is you need to be able to be prepared to be very honest about what your skill set is, what your area of expertise is, and if someone asks you, for example, hey, can you come on and talk about the canine influenza epidemic in Chicago? If you don't know anything about it and you're not an expert in that area, you need to be absolutely willing to say, you know what, that's not really my area, but I tell you what, I happen to have some great contacts and I can put you in contact with someone who is. Okay. So that's being authentic and that's being real. And you scratch their back and maybe they'll scratch yours whenever something comes up that is your area.
All right, thank you. And Lon, since you're the title of your topic at BlogPaws is Authenticity and Authority. What can a blogger do to get themselves to be authentic and to have that voice of authority that readers come to expect? Is that too much question all at once? Okay, I'm not able to hear you right now.
I'm hearing him fine, but I'm not sure about Robbie.
Yeah, I'm not hearing him, and I don't know why. Okay, Tom, are you hearing him? Okay, I think we're having a couple technical difficulties. I cannot hear Lon. Katy can, but my producer cannot either. So we're going to, I guess I don't know what we're going to do. I need some advice, Tom. Let's go back to Dr. Katy for a second. So we'll see what's going on in the background. Maybe Tom can talk to Lon and see what we can do. So, Dr. Katy, if I want to get my name in the newspaper or get on a radio show, do I have to be an expert? And what exactly does being an expert mean?
Well, I mean,
do I need a degree, or can I just write with authority?
Well, I mean, I think if you're going to be viewed as an expert in something, you really do need some sort of background in that. I mean, for me, being a veterinarian, that's easy, right? I've got the degree, so therefore, even if I'm not an expert in that area, they're going to assume that I am.
Okay.
But if someone comes to me though and they want to do a segment on dog training and breaking through some of the worst behavioral issues, that really might not be my area of expertise. I might say, hey, you know what, I'd be more than willing to come on and talk about that, but we're going to bring in someone else who's an actual dog trainer because that person is an expert. So I do feel like you need to have some sort of a background in it in order to be considered an expert. It can't just have written a whole bunch on it to consider yourself an expert. So you do need to have some sort of experience. Right now, I am a Shih Tzu expert, in case you guys can't see. So I have someone that had to join me in our chat. But if your goal is to get some local media, first and foremost, you kind of have to get out and about and meet those people. There's really nothing better than meeting them face to face, giving them a face with your name, rather than just some name that shows up in their email inbox.
Okay.
So getting out and about, going to local events, shelter events, dog events, whatever it is that's happening in your area, and introduce yourself to these people so that again, it's not just some random email that's showing up in their inbox. Because now I've been doing my show for 3 years. I probably get 20 some odd pitches at least a day from various people that want to come on the show, different products, different blogs, different topics, and it's pretty easy for me at this point to kind of go through those and say, nope, yep, okay, yeah, like that person, I've had them on before, things like that. And that's one of the things we'll talk about at BlogPaws is sort of what makes me click on those and say, yeah, I like this idea, or what makes me look at it and not even bother to open it and just put it directly into my trash folder. So there's some really kind of simple things that you can do to prevent them from getting in that trash folder, and realizing that your subject line and the first 2 lines of your email may be all that someone's going to have time to read. So you've really got to make your pitch, and you've got to make it right there and then in order to capture that person's attention.
Okay. Let's go back and see if we can hear Lon. Lon, can you do a little bit of a test and see if we can hear you so I can ask you some questions? I see you on the screen. I still cannot hear you, unfortunately. I think Tom is going to be emailing you so that we can kind of...
I heard him.
Oh, that's strange. I don't know why we can't.
It says you're muting him.
goodness.
It says, he said that it says BlogPaws muted you.
Okay, and I'm not BlogPaws, so I can't unmute. So let's see if maybe Tom can work his magic in the background. And until that happens, then, Katy, we're going to bring it back to you.
Okay. Sorry,
Oh,
Lon.
goodness. You know, it's always some sort of technical thing, so hopefully we'll see what's going on. Let's see. So I believe you've touched on it, and I think anybody that's in the blogging world and that, wants to make a name for themselves really have to be credible. Do you think that is it just a matter of the more blogs I write, the more credible I'm going to be? Is it the subject matter? Is it the fact that maybe I am having guests on my blog post? Can you just kind of speak to credibility and how a new blogger maybe could build that?
Well, I mean, I think that first and foremost, you need to be knowledgeable and passionate about what your topic is already. Like if you're going to be starting a blog on something, you need to know a lot about it in the first place, or else nobody's really going to want to read what you're writing if you're just saying, well, I'm trying to explore how to become so-and-so, unless that's truly the point of your blog, which is exploring how to become something. But if you're starting out and you're saying that, this blog is all about dog training, then you need to be an authority in that, and you need to be someone who's going to be credible for me to come to you and want you to be on my show, or for you to do a radio interview with me or whatever. I'm going to want to know what it is that makes you an expert on that. The people that we have on our show are we have trainers, we have rescue people, we have other veterinarians, we have ASPCA, HSUS, all sorts of people on our show, but they come to us sort of verified already. And if you're working on building that verification, then I think it is a matter of quantity, but it's more a matter of what it is that you're passionate about and what you truly know about. And if you're already successful in your blog and you've got that built, then all we have to do is look at that to figure out what your area of expertise is.
Oh, okay. Let's try to go back to Lon again and see if we have any luck. I don't think he's there. Okay. So, Dr. Katy, let me ask you, is there any chance for a newbie blogger to be taken seriously by the media?
I think so. I think it's just very dependent on what your topic is. I mean, it really truly is. In order for the media to use you as a resource, you have to have some sort of a background in that, and you have to be legitimate in it, because I'm not going to be doing a news story on something and just randomly have someone who happened to make a post about something on to be my expert. I'm going to need some sort of verification that such and such has been a blogger in this arena for 5 years and got started by X, Y, or Z. We're going to be able to have some sort of credibility in that, and that's just something that you have to build over time. And as far as like getting the media to recognize that, I mean, again, it is first and foremost about getting out there and figuring out who those local people are that you need to target. Watch your local newscasts and figure out who the people are that are going out and doing those animal stories, and find a way to either meet them or get their contact information and introduce yourself in a non-creepy way, and really try to sort of ingratiate yourself and get them to realize that you are somebody that can be taken seriously, and you are somebody that can be used as a resource. And really, truly, you gotta be interesting, and you gotta be relevant, and you gotta be timely. It's springtime. Don't send me something on dealing with extreme heat right now. That's not what's timely. Maybe something on springtime allergies, maybe something on, hey, the bugs are back, fleas and ticks. Things like that right now are timely and relevant, and being able to be fluid with your pitches and change those as the seasons go, those are really going to be super important. Obviously, there's going to be some pitches that are evergreen, and you can continue to use those and just find the right resource, but know that being told no once isn't the rejection of a lifetime. I was probably told no 25 times before I got that first yes. And after that, the yeses became more frequent because you start to sort of build your reputation as someone that's not going to come on and be crazy and spout craziness.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, that would be something you don't want to do is spout craziness. Let's
Oh,
see.
there's a lot of people that do, though.
Oh, I know. Oh, Lon, let's see. Can we hear you yet? Lon, can you hear me? Oh, I still am not able to figure out. So, but Dr. Katy, you can hear him, but we can't.
I can. If you would like, you can ask him questions and I can translate for you.
Okay. You know, let's do that because, you know, you have been having to do all of the talking so far, but all right, so Lon, let me ask you the question that we were asking Dr. Katy. How can a newbie blogger build some authority so that they can maybe get noticed by the media or just be taken seriously as a blogger that's a specialist in their niche?
Robbie, hey, Lon, can you hold on for a second? Robbie, can you hear any of this?
I cannot hear anything, unfortunately.
Okay. And we are confirming that nobody else out there can hear it as well?
I assume Tom was, but I'm not sure. I will contact him in the chat.
Okay.
Technology is great when it works.
What Lon was saying is that he was, whether anybody knows it or not, he was a psychology professor at one point, and so he kind of knows this whole area that you know, you really need to be. It's kind of similar to what I was saying. You really need to be passionate and knowledgeable already about what it is that you're writing about, and that's going to give you a lot of credibility if you have that passion and the knowledge that you've put the effort into learning.
Okay, and we have a question from the audience, and I'm checking with Tom to see if maybe the audience can hear Lon, and it's just for some reason us in the BlogPaws arena here that can't. So we have a question from the audience that wants to know, what if your story has a national angle? What's the best way to introduce yourself to a media outlet, context that you can't meet in person? So Dr. Katy, since you're on screen, maybe, apparently they cannot hear Lon in the audience either.
Okay. All right. Well, my advice is that, you know, if it's got a national angle, it's really exceptionally difficult to get that national media first. The national media wants you to have some sort of experience. They want to know who they're dealing with before they bring you on the air. So my advice, even if it does have a national angle, is to start locally first. And you may have more success nationally if you're looking at something like that, if it is really truly a national angle to it, starting with someone like Huffington Post Pets, or one of the websites, or one of the newspapers, because, you know, again, TV people are going to want to see what you've done on air before they bring you on, especially on national. Local people, though, I mean, there are a lot of the stories that we share on our show that were local stories. You know, we just this week had one that was a local story from Seattle, but here we are in Washington, D.C. sharing that local story. So it's now making its way across the country.
Okay. Now I believe Dr. Katy is frozen. Oh, no. You know, technology is just not our friend at this moment tonight here at the BlogPaws Cares and Shares. Let me go see if we can hear Lon, and if not, we'll try to get back to Dr. Katy. Right now her screen is frozen, so let's see what else we can do here. Lon, can you hear me? Let's see if we can hear you this time. I see you walking around. Okay, we are having no sound with Lon. Dr. Katy is frozen, her screen right now, so I'm not sure if she's having technical difficulties as well. If there's any questions from the audience, because I know that during our BlogPaws, we had a BlogPaws team call this week with our ambassadors, and we were showing them and telling them how they can contact local media and maybe get their names out there, let the media know that they are BlogPaws ambassadors, what that means, and the fact that it's not bad to start small. Start with your local paper, see if you can get in there, and then maybe that will build up to some sort of larger audience depending on what's going on. So let me see. I see that Lon is moving around again, so maybe we go back to him and see if we can hear him. Dr. Katy, I still don't have any contact with her right now. Hold on. Okay, Lon, I still see you, but I still cannot hear you. Okay. We apologize for these technical glitches tonight, folks, because we had a fantastic show, and these are two, wonderful speakers that we're going to have at the conference who really know their stuff. I mean, if you look at what Dr. Katy does with her show and look at Lon's social media presence, you can see that, they really know how to get media attention and interaction and conversations going with their audience. I do hear some background noise, so maybe I'm hearing Lon. Let's try to go back to him.
I'm
hey,
back,
Lon.
by the way.
Oh, Dr. Katy's back. Okay. I still am not hearing Lon. I'm seeing him trying to talk, but I'm hearing nothing. And Dr. Katy, you're sideways from me. There we go.
I had it the way that I had it earlier, but for some reason.
Oh my goodness. So it's like, okay, now are we really getting technical glitches where everybody's sideways? I do love technology, and once in a while it is our friend, but right now it is really not our friend.
Every now and then it works out great.
So what I'm going to do, Lon, if you could maybe send us, let's put you on screen for a second, maybe you could send Tom a quick email to let us know what some of your pet projects are, because that's what we kind of wrap up the show with, is letting everybody know what you're working on, where they can find you, how they can find you. So if maybe you send an email to Tom, then he can pass that along and I can share that with everybody so that they know how brilliant you are, even though they can't hear you talking right now. So we will go to Dr. Katy again. I got the thumbs up from Lon, so this is good. So can you tell us what are some of your pet projects right now, and where can people find you?
Well, it's really easy to find me. You can find me at my website, which is www.thepetshow.tv. And pretty much all of my activities are there. You can find me on Twitter at Dr. Katy Nelson. That's Katy with a Y. And I'm always tweeting some sort of, nonsense sometimes, and other times really good stuff. And you can find us on Facebook as well, The Pet Show with Dr. Katy on Facebook. I've always got a million projects going on, and I just got back from New York this week for Fox and Friends. We were actually talking about the canine influenza outbreak. That's why I brought that up earlier. Next week I'm headed back up to New York for CNBC's Power Pitch. So I'm doing some stuff with them as well. So just, out there plugging like all of us are. And we're really working hard on our show as well. We just had our 3-year anniversary, and we're in some talks right now to hopefully be syndicating. So we might even be coming to your city sometime soon.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I believe, if I remember correctly, when I was talking to Carol Bryant, our PR manager, earlier this week, she said that you two were going to be on a show together coming up soon, I think.
Yes, she's actually coming. She's going to be on my show next week.
Okay.
So we'll actually, we'll be tagging the heck out of BlogPaws, easy for me to say. So we'll have that on our Pet Show Facebook page. We'll have it on my Twitter, and then it'll be online as well. As soon as it airs, we have it online so that you all can watch it, and we'll be talking about BlogPaws coming up in May in Nashville.
That's great, and I know that I'm sure we'll be sharing it on our social media pages as well. if there's anything you could say as a wrap-up, and we probably will wrap up a couple minutes early. We're waiting for Lon's pet projects right now, so we can share that with everybody. Is there anything that you could tell our listeners, Dr. Katy, that they could maybe take an actionable step today to get themselves either noticed by the media or building some credibility so that they can get noticed?
Yeah. Well, I think that preparation really is the key for any sort of success. I mean, obviously that's kind of a no-brainer, right? But, I put a lot of time and training into trying to become media ready. And I think for everyone, there's a lot of courses out there that you can take, online courses, things like that. Just some media training is a huge thing that people can do, and it doesn't cost a lot of money, and it doesn't cost a lot of time. It might take you one day to get some good media training, but it really helps you to kind of catch your own flaws, especially television. They catch so many things that you do. And once you watch yourself, you're going to pick yourself to pieces. But, putting a little time into training and prepping for that is a really good thing. I mean, I found whenever I first started out that I had certain things that I said over and over again. Rather than saying I would say something else. And I also found that I always talked with my forehead wrinkled. And, it was little things like that you watch yourself do. But once you've had one of these classes, these media training classes where they kind of teach you how to respond to things, what things, you really need to stop doing and start doing, you become a lot more comfortable. And once you're more comfortable, then people are going to be, it's going to be a lot easier to interview you. If you're sitting there fidgeting and you're doing all these things and saying a million times, it's not an easy interview, and they're probably not going to want you back. But if you walk in prepped and ready and comfortable and ready to go, then that's really the key for me as to who I want to have back on my show, because they make me look good, That's what everybody wants. You want people that are comfortable, that make your viewers not fidget while they're watching them. And, that takes practice and it takes preparation. And if you do that ahead of time, then you really are going to truly get noticed, and you're going to get asked back.
Okay. Yeah, and that's a great thing to
Poor
know.
Lon. Lon said he's having a hard time getting noticed today.
Lon, we are trying so hard to get you noticed.
I'm sorry, Lon.
I'll say, it's like I can't get part of my screen to work on Google Hangout here today, so it's just maybe it's a full moon. I don't really know. Sunspots. I don't know what to blame it on.
I blame it on the Shih Tzu that was on my lap earlier. That's what I blame it on. It was the underbite. It screwed up Google.
See, I can't even blame it on my poodle. I locked her out because she seems to like barking a lot, especially when I'm, on a headphone, and so that everybody else is unable to hear.
It's understandable.
Okay, so we're going to put Lon's face back on the screen, and I'm going to tell you what his pet projects are. Lon says that they will be traveling to the amazing pet expos. There's 25 shows, holy moly, and they're doing planned acts of kindness along the way. Now, I really would love a little bit more information on that, what your planned acts of kindness are, Lon, because I think that sounds fascinating. And he's also going to be doing a national service dog conference in June, and he wants everybody to follow Gander for more information. And you can find them on Facebook. Yes, Lon? That's the best place?
Gander Service Dog, he said.
Gander Service Dog. And I know he's got a huge Facebook presence. Dr. Katy, what's he saying?
It's a national conference that anybody is welcome to go to, and it's all about helping servicemen transition back, or servicemen and women transition back home. So you can all find out more information on Gander's Facebook page.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Hey, Lon, if you happen to be passing through the D.C. area for any of these 25, you need to come on the pet show. Okay, you let me know. You've got my email.
And he's obviously got the authority.
And he says he promises to talk when he's on my show.
So I say, we see that he's trying to talk. I want to thank the two of you so much for coming on, dealing with our technical glitches here. We are at 8:30. I'm going to give you the link because I think there are questions over on the Google Plus page. Okay. I'm sure for both of you. So we will give you that link. If you could go over there, maybe interact a little bit, answer some of the questions that people were unable to have me ask and answer on Lon's behalf. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I look forward to seeing both of you, I believe, in 49 days down in Nashville.
I'll be there.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Lon
Bye.
says goodbye.